Margaret Fuller was one of the earliest and most influential advocates for women's rights in the United States. Born in 1810, she basically disappointed her father right out of the womb because he was counting on having a son. But he got over his disappointment by giving Fuller the most active and participatory education that he could possibly afford to give her. Basically, an education that was on par with rich young boys that were living at the same time. As a consequence, Fuller grew up to be a very savvy thinker. She could hold her own with the intellectuals who were twice her age, and she could talk about any issues at the time. Fuller was hired by famous newspaper publisher Horace Greeley to be a literary critic for his New York Tribune. Shortly after that, he sent her on assignment to Europe, where she stayed for several years, writing and meeting a lot of people in the European intelligentsia. She got married, she had a child, and she was also working on a treatise for women's rights that she was going to bring back to the United States. Unfortunately, the ship ran aground off of Fire Island, New York, and Fuller's body was never found. But her spirit lived on in the activism of women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. And that's History in a Moment.
There are plenty more entertaining videos where this came from. Please subscribe to the History in a Moment YouTube channel.